Hi everyone, this is John Girardi with Right to Life of Central California with the next in our series of 40 videos for 40 days. This is the series in which we give a new educational video every day during 40 Days for Life, which is the international campaign of prayer and presence outside abortion clinics throughout the country and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our clinic here in Fresno, we encourage you to get in touch with us at 559-229-2229 or our website, rtlcc.org. We're going to start this series after our opening show yesterday. We're going to start the series by talking about one of the big developments in pro-life news since our last 40 Days for Life campaign, which is the big new Texas abortion statute. Texas passed a law basically creating what's called a private right of action, which is the ability for someone to sue. A private right of action for any individual in Texas to sue any abortion doctor who performs an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. This has resulted in the pro-choice side going absolutely insane because Texas has effectively, for the first time that any state has done this since 1973 when Roe v. Wade came down, Texas has effectively banned most abortions in the state of Texas. Now, how did they do it? Well, basically what they did was, instead of having Texas enforce the law by imposing criminal punishments, they just created an ability for any individual in Texas to sue, to file a civil lawsuit to get damages. So this isn't the state prosecuting you for doing an abortion, it's individuals suing you for doing an abortion. Now, when various abortion providers tried to sue the state of Texas to stop the enforcement of this law, Texas said, well, we're not enforcing the law. You're suing the wrong person. You need to wait until someone actually sues you for performing an abortion and then sue that person if you want to try and stop this law. So that's the very clever way in which the pro-lifers wrote this law. And it's not just a purely clever thing. I think it does highlight one very important thing, which is, protection, civil liability protection for wrongful death is one of the many things that constitutes, I guess you could say, the right to life. It's one of the various layers of legal protection we have as Americans that protects our lives. If someone is thinking about killing me, they have to think about, one, the threat of criminal prosecution, but also, two, the threat of losing assets in a civil lawsuit. O.J. Simpson, many believe, I'm not here to litigate the O.J. Simpson case, many believe O.J. Simpson got off scot-free wrongly with the deaths, with a double murder. However, he did lose the civil lawsuit and lost a ton of money to his two victims' families. And that is the civil liability protection that they had for wrongful death. So the fact that Texas is acknowledging the humanity of unborn children and allowing people to sue to vindicate the rights of unborn children, which frankly, it makes sense to expand the kinds of people who can sue for an unborn child, okay? An unborn child cannot sue on his or her own behalf. The child's parents are not in a place reliably to sue on the child's behalf. The child is being aborted at the request of at least one of the parents. So to extend this cause of action to other people in Texas, it allows the rights of unborn children to be vindicated in some way. Some people have tried to paint this as a bounty system. And while I don't know that necessarily, if I were the emperor, I would necessarily structure the Texas law like this, I think there should be some way for the rights of unborn children, including the right of civil protection for wrongful death. There needs to be some way for that to be vindicated. So I say, on the whole, congratulations to Texas for passing this bill, which ultimately, though, this new law, its constitutionality or lack of constitutionality will be settled when the court settles the question of Roe v. Wade, which it's going to do this year. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization, the big Supreme Court case that will decide the fate of Roe v. Wade. For Right to Life of Central California, I'm John Girardi.